New addition to the family. Hi, Christopher. We've got Jack. He's the one I had before, if you can see him. Jack. Oh, there's Jack. The one who's just flew up. And the yellow one is a new addition called Nana, like banana, because she's yellow. So we've called her Nana. You got a friend now? Have you got a friend? Yes, you have. Ooh. And they're just getting used to each other because my fella got Nana yesterday, and they've been all right together. So because Jack lost his mate, I got him from a pet shop and he lost his mate ages ago. But they are lovebirds, so yeah, they seem okay at the minute. Hi Tatty T, hi Clifton Lee, Tatty T and Clifton Lee, rhymes. Laurie, happy Monday as well, and Christopher Lee. Oh, we've got Christopher Lee's, Tatty T's, and Clifton Lee's, and then Laurie. Oh my God. In a funny mood. But it's not going to be a long show. Sort of forgetting what I was going to say. Oh, you slipped him from Charlie's. Oh yeah, I remember your profile pic. I can't even say your name. A bit dyslexic. I'll call you D. And I Star Like UK as well. Yeah, well, funny enough, I'm gonna Charlie Ward show I'll bring up because I watched a few this morning. I don't get to watch all of them all the time, but I do. Nana is a young... Yeah, Nana, that's what we said. Nana is a young grandmother. And I say nanas, I don't say grandmother, but we've called her Nana as in, how have we spelled it? N-A-R-N-A. Nana? As in banana, but Nana for short because the bird's yellow and looks like a banana. We just thought it was cute. Hi, King. I'll let everyone come in. My son today has been making little things out of Fimo clay, which I did burn in the oven. And he's only 5 and he's made this thing. This was a dog. This is a dog. And this is a man, and then he wanted to put wings on, which one of them fell off. And then he said, I believe I can fly. And I was like, yeah, Finn. And then I did the little bird, which was yellow, but I burnt it. Yes, it was you two. It was you two. She's already started trying to get him off the perch, and you know, like, this is my space, this is my bed. Can you move over like women do? I've got all the space and you haven't. But they're getting used to each other, so you might hear a bit of tweeting. I don't know now I'm talking, but yes. Hello, sheep man. So and then he did this one. Guess what this is? Guess what this is? Can't think what they're teaching them at school. Guess what this is? I just thought it was some kind of monster. See if you can guess what this is. Take a wild guess. Yes, Christopher Lee's. It's the virus. I said to him, what's that? He went, it's a coronavirus. I went, well, you need to make a man, which you did, who can bash it and get rid of it because it ain't real, child. So I'm always telling him. So bash, that's gone. But they were his little models that he made today. Yeah, it looks like a crab. Yeah, it does. So, hi, Paul from Newcastle. Anyone who knows in, Frank as well. Anyone who comes in a minute or a few minutes. But Yeah, today was really just to talk about gratitude, as in thank you to you, the supporters in chat that have been with me a while, especially on the Q train. Um, and I'm amazed, like, all this time, it's been a very long time, you know, a lot of people knew years ago about certain stuff, but a lot that came onto the Q movement in 2017, from 2017, and have been shouting out about it since then, like me, many others, Roxanne, loads of people, that tried to put shows on the Really Woke show when we put certain things up about Podesta art, the red shoes. People might not know about it, but lots of different things. Yeah, I've got the V for Vendetta. Lots of different things. And some of them got pulled down as well. So we have been talking about it for a while. There's a lot of new channels that have just recently come out talking about stuff as well, which is great because new people are getting on it. Some people are only just waking up to certain stuff, and some people are waking up to certain stuff but not understanding deeply what it all means in the genius plan that it is. But this week I was like overwhelmed myself, because even when people are talking out on YouTube, and you don't have to be, because you do it in your own way, dropping seeds and stuff, it's like people will say, oh, some of you come to my channel because it's the energy and the vibrations, and yeah, I met you when I had 200 subs. I know, it's bonkers. A lot of us are being censored anyway, but yeah, I know Tron's a good channel. Most of the Q channels and things that talk about Q I've been into a very long time, but I don't watch a lot of them now. They don't come up on notifications like my channel doesn't sometimes, because we all know what's going on. But all the stuff like X22 Report, Tron, Don't Drink the Kool-Aid, all those channels, great channels. I have watched a lot of them in the past, and they are great when I remember as well. But I don't watch a lot of them now because I see what's going on, and just now and again I'll watch certain things, and some of them I forget about, like you say, because things are being censored at the minute and you're not getting all the notifications. I forget about them, so I'd have to write them down. But yeah, Tron is a good channel. Q Lounge, there's loads of different ones out there. Yeah, you don't grow wool now, exactly. But as much as people will say, whatever I'm talking about, sometimes some people understand what I'm talking about, sometimes some people don't. I talk about many different things because I'm quite open-minded to a lot of things, and I think you have to be that way. Ordered a couple of new Q t-shirts today. Whoop, whoop, tatted tees, all the Q. Oh, I'll be wearing mine on Wednesday on the Charlie Ward show. I'll have, oh yeah, got my Q book. I'll have my Trump mug and everything. But yeah, so as much as people say to me through comments, nice comments, hi AA. I'll give you all a shout out at the end if anyone comes in, because I'll just get distracted. People in chat like you give me inspiration to carry on talking about what I'm talking about, even if some people aren't getting it. I'm not saying I'm right on everything, especially when we're going about dates and certain things. But the plan that's in place is people have got to understand it's a knowing. It's not a facts, figures, left-brained sort of thing. It's a very right brain knowingness. It's a spiritual thing as well. It's going to spirituality. It's going to go back to that, and that is not religion. That is not religion. People get mixed up with. Got into a sort of communication with someone on Instagram yesterday. Don't know who it was, and all they throw at you is the whole religion thing. It's like they don't think you can know God, the universe, the source, creator. I don't know, whatever you call it. Many different things in different religions, but it's different religions, but all the same. If they think you're not based in the religion, and it's like you don't have to be based in the religion to know source, to be a part of it, because we are from source, and we are connected, and they try to disconnect us. It's very hard to sort of get communication of that into someone who's in very religious. Yeah, AA, but the thing is, I will talk about what you're saying there at the end of this show, because there's a few things I thought at the beginning, but like I say, dark to light. Good people on there. And the thing is, if that's the woman who's off that Camelot thing, I did talk about her the other day, and I'm a bit like, Not very into the energy of that, but it's all good. It's all good. Hi, Red Edge. Anyway, I'm not going to look at chat for a minute because I'm just going to, get distracted. So, like I'm saying, a lot of you in chat, we're all after the same thing at the end of the day. We're all after, it might not be what you think, AA. It's not bad. So, we're all after humanity waking up, evolving, because that's what love is. When we go back to love, which is a spiritual thing, it's not a religious thing. You lot give me inspiration to come back on as well. Your energy in chat, we get the odd trolls now and again, like everybody does. And we get a lot of people that don't, I wouldn't even say understand, I'd say understand, because it's hard to try and understand what's going on. But then you've got to try and understand what's going on, and you've got to go through the layers, because this thing's, to me, multi-dimensional. And the weird thing is, because I will be talking about this on the Charlie Ward Show on Wednesday evening, is I came through many different things, and I'm not going to go on about it now because it will come up on the show. But people go on about, oh, do you believe in space? If you believe in this, do you believe in space? And it's like, space to me is dimensions. So it doesn't mean something's up there. It's all around us all the time. It's dimensions, timelines and things working next to each other. Yeah, the thing is with Kerry Cassidy is that her off the Camelot, the other Camelot thing is, I have seen some of the stuff and some of the people she interviews, if it's the if I'm connecting with the right person, I just don't resonate. I'm not saying she's a bad person. Hi, Pope. I just don't resonate. I don't resonate with, especially the other week when she did something. Like, we all have bits of disagreements on stuff because we all see things from different perceptions. But, yeah, omnidimensional, exactly, because everything's omnipresent everywhere at all times. This is what I tried to tell this religious person the other day. In us, everywhere. In nature, everywhere. So, yes, Von Craig Hughes. Yeah, me too. So, I just don't resonate with her because she was effing and jeffing. I mean, I cussed, but it was different. It was the energy. She seemed so miserable. I don't know, like, just the energy was miserable. Like I said, I'm not saying she's a bad person like the other person I called out the other week for going on about how good Biden was and that woman they're bringing in was brilliant. It's like, do you know what they're a part of? It wasn't because she is. I just didn't like what the energy that, it is a very confusing time. But as far as that person I'm talking about now is, I just, from day one, when someone sent me some stuff to watch, it's like the people on the channel, a lot of the people I resonate with, but her myself, at the minute, I didn't. And when she did an interview on, I can't remember whose channel it was, she didn't seem to know very much, seeing as I thought she was in that sort of realm. Or is she just a journalist, 33 in the house and 9 Christ consciousness in the house, who just interviews people but doesn't actually look into stuff? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm just saying I don't resonate with, I don't watch her because I don't resonate with it. I've seen some of the stuff with the people she's done, but I just didn't resonate with, no, just didn't resonate. She does. And in a way of like, she's supposed to be awakened to stuff, I thought. And then she was getting told about certain stuff where she lives in America, or why are the governors doing that in that area, or the what they called the mayors, and I can't remember who was talking to, and they were like, yeah, but you've got to see it. You voted for this, you've got to see it. And she's like, yeah, but why would they? Why would they? Are you not doing on any work of the controllers and why they do the things they do? And they are these people that you look up to, like your mayor or your council or your government, who you think are looking after you. I was like, don't understand it. She's interviewed so many people. So that's all I'm saying on that. And you just resonate with who you resonate with. So I don't watch it because I don't resonate with that channel at the minute. I do with people on it, but the last one she did, I was like, no. Some need words, some need visual. Yeah, I mean, I'm a visual learner anyway. But yeah, what I was trying to say is, a lot of people in the chat, people who comment after, and a lot of people who comment on other places that I'm on, inspire me as well, because sometimes I feel like I'm burbling on, but I know people get me. And I know people, mostly the thing I want to put across is, no matter what you come through and the truth that you're coming across, no matter if you've been woke, I even hate saying woke, awakened many years ago, because you're still probably learning other stuff that maybe you didn't know now. It's not saying people weren't awake ages ago, because they were. It's about how we come through it, and we're starting to learn about energies. We're not taught about this at school. You know, like Nikola Tesla, energy, frequencies and vibration. It's your energy and the frequencies you vibrate on bring certain things in. And fear is a massive factor. That's why the MSM do what they do. So we're trying to learn, all of us, to hone in our emotions. It's not that you're not supposed to feel your emotions, you are. It's just you don't absorb it to the fact that it's bringing you down and it's stopping you doing something that you love. This is why some people say to me, oh, don't let it get out. And I'm not. I'm still doing the things that I love, but you have got to see it. So, to me, this is the whole process. Hi, oi, oi, where we go when we go up, Baza, is people are not thinking about when all this truth drops, the big truth bombs that are coming up to November, of the people who were well asleep, because there's people in comas that are like, meaning they just don't want to look at anything. It's all about what we do after that. It's all right saying such and such body's getting arrested, this is happening, that's all good. But even when we see that, what do we do now? There's going to be a lot of people traumatised with the truth that is coming out. A lot of us have already gone through the whole heartbreak of it all, and you know, we've sort of had to detach ourselves. I have to get through it, but we do still feel the pain, the sadness, the heartbreak, all the emotions up and down, but we're just learning how to bring that into balance and not run away with it too much, where, hi good servant, that it's we're going in an action where it's not needed. You only have to look at the past and see what we've done, and we've never won it because we've run off too much with our emotions. It's like I said, it's not about not feeling them, it's about feeling them. It's about observing and not running off too at the deep end with it. That's why the law of attraction is so interesting. Also, the other side of what you fight for. Yeah, the law of attraction is a thing. The law of one is a thing. Everyone learns something new all the time. We're always learning because we're always spiraling up. People who don't want to look at stuff want to stay stagnant, and they're not going to learn anything. And it's scary sometimes because it's changing all the time. We're learning, we're flowing, and we're going with the flow. It's exciting, and what's going to come soon in the future. It's going to be new, but it's going to be great. Only difference is now from yesteryears is that we can find more. Yeah, and that's the thing I've always said is a lot of people who knew about stuff back in the day didn't see a lot of people waking up around them. So they just thought, I'll throw myself back into life and I'll just go with the system and I'll just try my best at, you know, whatever it was to keep them happy. But the difference is with now from then is loads has changed, loads is changing, and you can see that we're in it together worldwide with all the stuff that's happening, the so-called virus and all that. It's a worldwide thing we're all in, and people are waking up. Fact. People are waking up all day, every day, through ever what means they are waking up. Jennifer Mack had Qanon on it. Yeah, she has a lot of good people on. So it's like you can't deny the world is waking up. That's why it's different. And all the people who are still into the New World Order crap and they still think Trump's part of the other side, they're not researching. All they're doing is either regurgitating what the news say, because all the people who watch MSM repeat the exact same thing. They don't even know each other, they repeat the exact same thing. Or they're just repeating someone said on Facebook or whatever. And people say to me, yeah, but you're just regurgitating what someone said on YouTube or like social media. Social media isn't brilliant, but it is brilliant at the same time. We're using it against them. It's not what someone said, we research. And when you've done your research, you start resonating with channels and people and platforms that are putting the truth out, like I've said before. If you're at, for example, if you're at a protest, like say the one in Germany, there were 4 million people there. The news reported there was only thousands. Well, there wasn't. The people who were there filming, normal people like me and you who were there, film it, and say they've got a platform or whatever and they've spoke out somewhere on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. They've put pictures up. They know what the truth was because they was there and they experienced it. Most of it is to do with experiences. What I was shouting out in Charlie Ward's chat, one of his chats today, in the live chat, which I'll say in a minute, is so when they put it on the media and they go, oh, it was only so many thousands. Someone goes, hang on a minute, I was there. I know that was a lie. They start spouting out about it. It's the real people watching. We're the digital soldiers. We're not listening to MSM. So when people say that to me, I just find it so like, oh my God. We're connecting to people around the world. You're watching people, you choose the channels you watch. You're seeing people talk about it worldwide. If you're on my channel, you're looking at other stuff. The truth in community is all sorts in one community, and we're all just trying to find truth. Did you see it Spring on the BBC that QAnon COVID conspiracy? Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I know they've been trying to say. I said to a friend the other day, watch the news, try and twist it that QAnon's one big massive, like flipping violent group like they always do or whatever, and they've already started spouting stuff. So yeah, we all know that. And I've also seen the silly fool that tried to burn something down and then set fire to himself, because that's what happens in it with these Antifa people. I retweet. Yeah, and I did Revel retweeted my Japan vid. I put a Japan vid up on Facebook because that was showing you Trump supporters in Japan. They're all over the world, you know what I mean? QAnon fans all over the world. You don't have to be in the QAnon movement to know there's something going on. But the QAnon movement is massive. That's what people don't understand. Millions on it all around the world, more getting on it all the time from 2017. Fact. But the thing is, what people don't realise is who are not in the Q movement, they think it's something off the other side, and it's not. It is for humanity. It was given for the people, to the people, to give the power back, to rise, to stand up, to shout out. It's not about violence. We've done that in the past. It doesn't work. You just jumped in at the right time, Lydia. Thank you. Yeah, right Q time. So depression is so clear from the face. Yeah, and this is why people get depressed. I will be talking about this on the Charlie Ward show. You get depressed because people who watch the news and they watch all this stuff of things going on, you get depressed because you think that's the real world. That is not how we're supposed to be living. You actually come through all the truth, and you come through much emotions to find out that the world you thought we were living in, yes, you've been lied to, but what you start to realise that things in your life aren't your fault if this didn't happen and this didn't happen, and you've been feeling like confused in your life. When you start to wake up even to the truth, which is heartbreaking, you start to realise, actually, it's amazing what's going on at the minute. And none of that depression's real. It's you're being put into fear. You're being told to make out you're rubbish, you're this, that and the other, because they put all the celebrities so high up there, and you should have this, that and the other, the material world, the 3D world. That is not where we're supposed to be going. It was never supposed to be like that. The world we live in, people say it's hell. It's not hell. It's quite amazing. It's been made to seem like that because of the illusion, and man-made religion to make you feel like that you're in sin and that, and it's not. It's more like how we grow down here through these experiences, and everything is to do with experience. I can remember searching many years ago and no one to talk to, dark days. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying, D, I'll call you D, is this is the whole thing. Hi, YouTube, this is what I'm saying. So the people who, I know loads of people who said they got depressed years ago, they didn't have universal. They didn't have people to talk to, even on YouTube back a few years back, because nobody was really talking about it. They didn't get it, and it was dark days. Now, dark to light, dark to light. The light is being shone on the dark. You are in the dark if you haven't got the information. A lot of people, they say, are asleep sheeple. I know we say this, it's not a nice word to say. They're the people who are in the dark because the information they're following on the MSM is not the right information. They put snippets of truth out, but most of it's bullshit. So they're kept in the dark and dumbed down. They're kept in the dark. Hi, Dave Maud. They're kept in the dark because they haven't got any information. The light is here, shining very bright all over the world right now with truth. Truth, yeah. Some of it's painful. It's heartbreaking. As there was someone on Charlie Ward's show today, which I'll just try and get up on my phone. But truth is truth at the end of the day. And the light is being shone in the dark crevices, and we're going to see what players play for what side, because this is what it's all about. It's not about Democrats and Republicans. It's about good and bad, bad and evil, whatever you want to call it. It's what side you stand on at the minute. You're either with humanity or you're not. You either care or you don't. As far as I'm concerned, if you don't care, I don't really think you're human at the end of the day. I really don't. So, the last year, I remember people being able to discuss anything they wanted on YouTube was 2000. That's what I mean, YouTube, because it's all being censored. They want to shut people up. If QAnon was such a big conspiracy theory, big conspiracy thing, why are they trying to shut it up? If it's not real, then they shouldn't be worried, should they? So the light has always been here. It's how you look at the world and filter. Yeah, the light has always been here, but the dark did take over quite a lot because they knew how to control people. It's easy to control people, especially through the TV. Yeah, Camelot TV channel. Do you mean Camelot Network? I'd love to get on their show. I'd really love to talk to John Maplin. Yeah, so Charlie Ward had, obviously he's doing a lot a day, but he had someone on called Bridget Edwards talking to Charlie Ward about stress gone, which was great. I advise you to go and watch that about that with, like I said, Bridget Edwards talks to Charlie about stress gone. Because stress is just what you think and what you think other people think. Let's see if she's saying
anything. When I'm working with someone, because that's how we learn and grow. When your perceptions change and you're no longer emotionally involved in something, you will see it from different perspectives. And that's where the wisdom and the learning comes from.
When people get all caught up in, like she said, the emotions, it's hard because I have this when I'm trying to talk to people. You know, we all get triggered, but I have had people around me that they get emotional about things, and then it's that thing that bubbles up, because a lot of people get stressed because they don't understand, and then it makes them quite angry because people go into fear with it.
The gift of even the most heinous things that happen to us actually start to open up for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Completely. And you just triggered in my mind there something that I made a point earlier to yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, to somebody about when you come to a junction in your life, if you turn left and it's the wrong way, you need to have the courage and conviction to be able to turn around and make sure and admit to yourself you've made a mistake. There's nothing wrong in that. That's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of strength. To admit that you've gone the wrong way and have the courage to turn around and come back. Because next time you come to that junction in your life, you'll know which way to turn. So many people procrastinate. They come to the junction, they don't know whether to turn left or right, and they just sit there. They go nowhere. Don't be scared of failure. Embrace it, because that's where you learn. And once you learn,
absolutely.
Once you start to learn, then stress and fear go away, because you've actually been down the wrong way and learned from that, so you're not scared of it.
Hi, Mary.
In fact, I actually say that we learn more from our seeming failures, which are actually mistakes. And
mistakes.
The lovely lady, I just forget her name right now, she calls it a mistake.
Mistake, yeah.
And that is actually such a wonderful way.
So check that out because it was really good. But yeah, hi Tapper, and Tapper's just put the link in. Bridget Edwards talks to Charlie, and she talks about seeing the heartbreak, but where we're going with it all. Yeah, nothing wrong with making mistakes as long as you learn by it. That's what it's all about. If you make mistakes in your past, yeah, we are being alchemized because it's all alchemy, baby. It's all transformation. It's what it's about. If you constantly, it's like law of attraction, you constantly keep making mistakes, the universe is going to keep knocking on your head and giving it you. If you're not actually going to look at it, listen. Yeah, Laura Whitworth is good. I do listen to Laura Whitworth. And learn by them. Because if you keep repeating the same thing, it means that you're not changing like your habits or the programming, or you're making the same mistakes. But the mistake, so you're allowed to take another take at it, another shot at it, and think, well, I'm going to do that. And you do normally get to that point, normally, even if it's after a few years, and think, oh my God, what have I been doing? Like, you're allowed to turn around and take the other road, like Charlie just said. You don't have to be pleasing other people by thinking, I can't change this because of what other people are going to think. Yes, you can. Like I said, if I'm wrong about all this Q stuff, come November and going into the next, 21, 22, whatever, because don't think that in November everything's going to come out. The quite big things are coming out. And then as that rolls out with the disclosure of things coming out and out, because don't forget, it's massive. It's been going on for ages. You're supposed to be going in the mode of, like I said before, you're working on you. Why these years go forth with the force. We've all got to be working on ourselves, alchemizing, transforming. It's about being the better you, the higher self, your higher self. We're working on it all the time. You go down, you go up. You go down, you go up. We're alchemizing. It's just, yeah, Laura Whitworth is in that. It's just about being the best version of you, because we've been distracted, we've been misled, we've been deceived, we've been lied to. So sometimes we've made, we've made, oh my God, what's the word? We've made decisions. Yeah, chemistry and alchemy, exactly. We've made decisions on bad choices because we thought something was right, but really behind it, it wasn't, because these people, the deceivers, put a lot of things out there in the 3D world where it's a cover and it's a face, it's a mask, it looks all good and all singing and all dancing and all lovely, but behind the scenes it's not. And if you go and watch the, I think Laura Eisenhower's done a new video with a girl on it. They're not showing you who she is. She was a model and she was going on about how she nearly got trafficked and this, that and the other through a modelling agency that wasn't a proper good one, if you know what I'm saying. Probably wanted to go to Epstein's Island. She talks about that. So, you know, they look like they're something when they're not. We all know how this works. Yeah, we all have faults. And like I've always said, and someone said today, I've always said this, nobody is perfect, so you shouldn't be judging everybody else. Nobody is perfect, but we're all perfectly imperfect because we're just learning. There's a lot of things we haven't been told. We're not taught at school about certain things because they don't want us to know. They only really give us the basics. Yeah. And apparently, I think today, was it something to do with Julian Assange's court thing, you know, about his extradited, whatever you call it, to America? I think it will happen. It's got to happen because of Seth Rich. It's got to happen for lots of other things they're trying to put him on charges for, because as soon as they get him to America, he'll be able to drop a lot of stuff. So watch this space. But I think that was happening today. We become wise with the years, and funnily enough, we try to reason with the next generation to make mistakes we made. With little luck, of course, we humans are... Yeah, and it's funny because you can't really... They've got to do it themselves, haven't they? But there is a lot of the young generation that are awake. I was speaking to someone the other day and a daughter, and she was. So, you know, they're not all asleep. Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, it's not all modelling agencies, because I know there was the girl was saying that the actual agent she was with before was brilliant and they were very, like, protective of them. But she went with this guy and just decided to, like, if you watch Laura Eisenhower, it's on one of the latest videos. But if we live, we learn, and hopefully be wise. Yeah, and there's a thing out there as well, because I think Dee saw me and Charlie Ward's chat before where someone was going on about, the feminine, something about feminine. I know they were having a bit of a joke, but my thing in there was, there's been a suppression of the feminine, and I'm not talking about the feminazis, I call them, the feminists who go around screaming and shouting that bloody stupid things and they all hate men and all that because it's ridiculous. That's just that side warring again to get you to hate on each other. We're talking about the feminine divine meeting the masculine divine in balance. There's been suppression in many religious books, many spiritual teachings, everything, that the divine feminine has been trodden on. That energy is rising. That's why we say the divine feminine is rising to meet the man, not to be over the man, and not the man to be over the woman, because it has been like that. And I mean in like energy wise, and the masculine and the feminine energies within us, because you all have both in you, to come into balance, because it's been out of whack. Everything's about going back to balance. And when we go back to balance, we go back to love. So that nurturing love inside, that mystic knowingness is coming back. So when a lot of people say, only because someone said something about, Charlie Ward's showing, yeah, we need some more like factual things, and not like some of the stuff he's had on here. I haven't watched it all yet, the pyramid code. I'll talk about that in a minute. People don't get stuff like that because it's an experience. But that whole energy is coming together, and the feminine, you know, Gaia's rising as well. It's an energy and it's a force to be reckoned with. It's nurturing, it's love. It's that thing of, like, I say the mystic side, it's a knowing. Some people say, how do you know you know, we're going to go to a new earth. I don't mean going, I mean it's a state of consciousness. It's a higher state of consciousness. It's like, because I just know, it's an innate feeling here. Not here, because it all comes here before it goes to a processor. Here. Can't explain it. A lot of people say, they say it's just a knowing, like the film, The Knowing. It's just a knowing. A very, very strong knowing. Yeah, just look at Flotus. She is yeah, Flotus, Trump's wife, the first lady, she's a real feminine, and that's why other girls hate. She's beautiful. She's feminine the way she dresses. She's lovely. Hi, Rom. She is feminine divine. But they always try and make out that they don't like each other. And it's just like this absolutely crock of crap. Do you know what I mean? So they usually have pink or green. They do, but I did want pink hair once because I do like pink. You know, if it went grey, I'd dye it pink. So I'm not one of them feminazis, rainbow feminazis person. You know what I'm talking about, because there was an agenda behind that movement that a lot of people get into, like I said before, for good reasons. Even Black Lives Matter, people have gone into that thinking it was something when we all know it's not. It's part of an agenda to divide and hate and fight with each other when they're all doing the thing. Hi, Shirley. And it's Antifa that are in there, but, you know, what can you say to people? So, and then, like I said before, Charlie Ward had a video up called the Pyramid Code. I haven't watched it all yet. So people get very like, some people don't like watching stuff. That's all right. No way is 45 and 17 in the house. I mean, is Trump and Q watching right now? The 45th president, 17 thumbs up is Q. And then I pointed at it, it's gone down. That just made me laugh. I always look at numbers. That was hilarious. Go back to 45. You never know. Oh, it's gone back to 45. The Q team watch, you know. They do watch. I don't mean they watch me, but they know what's going on. They see people talking about stuff. So, yeah, what was I saying? So there's like, I'm just trying to not look at chat at the minute because I'll get distracted. So people, it's fair enough people don't like some chats, because some people don't get other chats that seem very out there and seem very like really open-minded. I think today you've got to be really open-minded to absolutely everything, because someone was talking about ETs in there, and I think even Lee said in the live chat, you know, you really need to go and research if you don't believe in ETs. I do. I think they're dimensional. I see orbs and that, but I think they're dimensional. I'm not talking about from up there in space like some people would say. I'm talking about dimensional. And someone said something in it like, I mean, most people say, oh, it's rubbish. It may be rubbish to some people because it's like the law of attraction. It's an experience. If you have an experience and people are sharing it, because a lot of people have experiences, it's an experience. You can't say it's not true. It's not true to you because you didn't have the experience. But maybe you won't have the experience to bring in malevolent sort of like spirit, ETs, I don't know, energy, whatever you want to say, a frequency from another place in a dimension, maybe, let's say. You need to be on that frequency. And if the malevolent, it's going to be a good frequency. And if you're not believing anyway, and you don't have faith in that sort of stuff, and you're not on that frequency, you're not going to see that frequency. Pretty easy, I think. You're not going to see it. The more you get into something, the more you're going to see. No, you won't get a notification because they're trying to censor everything, Sue. So, you know, it's like everyone says, it's like a radio station. If you're not tuning into it, you're not going to see it. If I'm tuning into Radio 1 over there and you're tuning into Radio 3, you ain't going to hear what I'm hearing on or see what I'm seeing on Radio 1 because you're tuned into Radio 3. So the people who say that have really got to think a bit open-minded. Like, you can't say it's not, because you may not be just having that experience because you're not tuning into the energies around you. Because you're too distracted with other stuff, or you're just not on that frequency. It's an experience. I'm having experiences with certain stuff. Talking about that, I had a dream last night that this big, massive rainbow orb came in. And if you've seen my channel, most of you on here have seen the rainbow orb from ages ago. It was like this big, and I was in a forest or something, and it came up to me this big in front of my face with no camera, and I was like, not going to say what I think that was because it was a message for me, but... yeah, what's the Schumann resonance? I don't know what the Schumann resonance is today, but Schumann resonance has been kicking off for ages, hasn't it? It's getting stronger. The programming on the tell is all... yeah, the programming is all negative. That's why people go into fear, and that's why I don't watch the TV at all. I've got a TV, I don't watch it, I just use it for a screen for YouTube and stuff like that. So, I don't even know what I'm off and on about now, but... Yeah, I was trying to put that thing of like people shout out, oh, it's not real. Might not be real to you because you're not having an experience, but you can't knock people's experience. If someone's experienced something, they can't, it's hard to get that experience out to talk about and people just go, oh, it's not real. It's like, yeah, to you it's not. To you it's not. The left are becoming more, yeah. And it's a bit like that thing with the law of attraction, like I was saying before. The more you are in a frequency, if you're in a negative frequency, you're going to get more negative things coming to you because the universe thinks that you like it because you want more of it and you're staying in it. So if you're staying in it, you must like it. So you'll get more of it chucked at you. This whole world is a matrix. Yeah, it is, yeah. During my Akashic reading, they told me to focus on improving my telepathy and be needed to. Exactly, because what Ron you've just said there, I have felt pure evil once. That was such an experience. Like, yeah, they're not at the top, like, you know, that system's being brought down. But yeah, I do believe in telepathy, and it will be, I think it's how we communicate before, and that's why we say go within. When you go within and you meditate, that's like telepathy. You talk it, it's going within. We don't need to do things on the outer world. Like people say, disclosure. I think disclosure is going to come within first, and that's how you communicate. My son woke me up at about 4 o'clock the other morning. I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday. And I just went downstairs to get a drink of water, and I looked out the window, and the sky was so clear, and the stars, and oh my God, that big one. I was just like, oh my God. And then as I sort of thought in my head, you know, looking at the stars, and I think it was Orion I was looking at, I was like, just flash. I swear to God, 2 little things flashed. Like, they looked like stars, but they flashed, and it did it twice, and then they weren't there again. There was no cloud, no nothing. I was just like, but it was at the time I asked. Like I said, people can say what they want. If you weren't stood with me at the time and you weren't experiencing what I experienced, it won't be true to you. So, you know, yeah. Well, if you think of the, if you think of the film, The Matrix, it's not necessarily you're going to wake up in a pool of bloody snot or whatever it was. They were in them things they were sat on when, obviously, Neo took his plug out, but it is unplugging yourself from the system, unplugging yourself from the MSM, unplugging yourself from the sort of AI in a sense. We need bits of it, but everything needs to be in balance because we wouldn't be communicating now through flipping a tablet, would we? Well, I'm on my tablet of computers and stuff, but it has to be in balance. So it is a bit like that film. It is a bit like that film. Yeah, and people going about Skynet, the film, do you remember? Well, they did have a Skynet up there. It's all to control us. It's also you dumb down, so you can't use this pineal gland, so you can't communicate to other dimensions. So I know that's going to seem a bit whack to people, but it depends what experience you're having. To use your God-given abilities, and also this thing with the masks, wearing your masks. I've not worn one since it started. Who is the government to tell you not to breathe in your God-given? Someone said today, I've said this before, your God-given air, breath, God's breath. They can't tell you not to breathe the air in. I think it was a woman on the Charlie Ward show, but I've said this before, it's God-given. Who is to tell you you can't bring in nature's the ether? Do you know what I mean? Who? They can't tell you not to breathe. They can't tell you not to breathe in fresh air. They don't want you to, because it's good for you. You know what I mean? So who are they? People don't even question that. They're telling you to put a mask on your face so you can't breathe properly. There's still loads of people wearing masks in a supermarket near me, but there's more than there was not wearing. I'm only saying a handful, but people are going around wearing masks like this. They're not wearing them properly. They've got them like that. With the nose out. Why? Because you can't breathe. But they're still not questioning stuff. It's mad. And I asked my son again today about the temperature gun, and he said they fired it in his head again after me telling him twice last week no, and they said they weren't going to do it, so I'm going in tomorrow yet again to tell them. I'm just making sure he didn't get confused, but that's a joke. And not all schools are doing it. I see people walking around, no one around wearing masks. Yeah, I read a book, Britain's Web of Surveillance and the New Technology Order. Yeah, 1960. Yeah. And if anyone, Yeah, not to watch TV, exactly. If anyone didn't see this, I'm going to show you. I've always said to the Trump haters out there, you're going to be shocked in the end, but to the Trump haters out there, I've always said, do your research and research properly. I've always said, if you listened to him years ago, he knew what was going on. He said, don't know if I'd be president, but, you know, maybe if the time's right, because the time was right. And then, there was you know, I've seen him say stuff, and this was great, and it was on American Prophet. So if you've not seen American Prophet channel, check that channel out. It's great, but I don't get notifications on that either. So, you know, just let me find it now. I watch Netflix because I can twist things and see the truth in it. I read the films. You can read the films of what they're trying to do. Hi, Jimmy Digital. Nothing happens at school, Nick. No. But I do think, I was talking to a teacher yesterday, I do think schools are going to change in the end anyway. It's not everyone's going to be homeschooling. I do think they're going to change in the end anyway. I think they already know about that system that will be put in the end. So, anyway, let me see. Right, so let's listen to this if I can find it. I know, I put it on Facebook, so I'll go and find it on there because it was shorter. Tree hugging Dave Maloney, much love and high vibrations of consciousness, light and love. Yep, it's all about consciousness. All about consciousness. This is what people don't get about heaven, which I'm going to try and explain in a minute. But I'm not religious, so... Right, so... Right. Right. Oh. Just make sure it's not been taken off. Right, is it this one? Yeah, so I'm going to play you this.
Pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound
Not this one, but...
You are behind, or
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, you know, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there, and we are actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country, and when this country is gone, the rest of the world will follow.
Oh, it wasn't that bit, sorry. It was... Oh, it was... This bit.
Well, I hope you're right about that. What are you going to do? There are a lot of things to do. You know, a fertile imagination
Trump in his 30s. Listen to what he says.
and a good fertile mind, Mike, it's really amazing what can be thought of. There's so many things to do.
Politics?
So many. No, not politics.
You've said that you could do a better job at negotiating an arms control agreement with the Soviets than some of these professionals who've been trying to do it for years.
I didn't say me, Mike. I said somebody
Go
has to.
on.
If it were me, that'd be fine. I could do it. Somebody has to help this country, and if they don't, the country and the world are in big trouble. Because within a short period of time, as sure as we're sitting here, there's not going to be a country and there's not going to be a world.
Boom! There's not going to be a country and there's not going to be a world. That's what he said in his 30s. That's why he got asked to be brought in. And people sit there slagging him off because they don't understand what's going on, because they don't understand themselves either. I said in the 80s I thought they would be a great president. Yeah, and he knew in the 80s, and I believe the story goes, they asked him in the 80s, so he's been a bit like a 45 till chat, a bit like a 007 sort of agent, you know. You see the elites because you're rich and you've got money, and you see what's going on in certain places. Didn't go to the after parties because he didn't, and he didn't drink, by the way. He didn't drink. Didn't go to them after parties. So you sort of see what's going on. You hear things in them areas. And then you start taking notes and you start getting... Because remember, it's only taking time. People getting... I mean, the new people who wake up, it's like, why is it not happening? Why is this not happening? Learn that it's worldwide and it's massive what they're going for. Yes, it's about the kids. Yes, it's about rescuing them kids, but it's not just that. It is massive. The systems they've had in to take the good people down take our children, do all sorts of different things. It's absolutely massive on so many levels. So that's when you know people don't research properly. They just scream out about stuff and how it needs to be done like this and it needs to be done like that. And why is Trump not saying it like this? Why is he not on the world stage of the media shouting this, that and the other out? It doesn't work like that. You have got to go and research, giving back you the power. But it will do, because mainstream media will be the last ones brought down, as we know. But it is for you, because it's free will. For when you start picking up the breadcrumbs or the seeds that people are giving you, start seeing things that you research, because it's not about relying on me, somebody else, your next door neighbour saying something, because people just want it given on a plate. Go and research yourself. Get on the computer, do some digging. It's hard with Google because they put some crap out, but you can find stuff of the links of who Hillary was connected with Haiti Foundation, and this goes on with loads of different people, and they're all connected, and it's like, how do they all know each other? And it goes on and on and on, and different things, different ways, and it's very, very, very layered. But people just want it given on a plate because they don't want to do the work. They don't even want to do the work on themselves, which is what we're all doing now. And we'll be doing in the future to help people heal. That's what we're going to do. That's one of the biggest things at the end of this, when it comes out to the people who are still sleeping, or even the new people that are waking up. It's still hard. It took me a couple of years to get to the point where it's not bringing me down, because I know beautiful things are coming, but we've got to ride the storm. We've got to go through the storm to see that rainbow at the end. And I think the thing that's coming, none of us know what it's going to be, but I know innately it's going to be beautiful. I don't know how it's going to play, but it's going to be beautiful. When? I don't know, but it's going to be beautiful. It's just that resonating feeling. And kids are central. Yeah, they are the currency. Their currency is not, well, they are a drug. It's not money really, even though, well, they get paid a lot of money, but the currency of those people are children. But it's more multi-layered than that as well. All sorts going on everywhere, and every freaking whatever you can think of. Hi, Deanie. Yeah, trust the plan. I've trusted the plan, for ages. I believe in the Hopi prophecy of when the times go bad, the rainbow tribe return. We are the rainbow tribe because we are many different colours all over the world. Skin colours like a rainbow. Hue, humans, the hue, the spectrum. Come here, because we are the ones we've been waiting for, because people get too up their own asses with, oh, Trump's a saviour. You think Trump's a saviour? It's just Trump saving the world. No. He's the mouth, the foghorn, that's saying it as it is, and people don't like it. Oh, well, we're the ones who are standing up. Some people are doing it in protest. Some people are doing it on YouTube. Some people are speaking out to people. Some people are just talking to the neighbours. Whatever, we're all doing it. Digital soldiers, on air or not on air. We are the people, and we are the news now, and we are doing it. Don't be deceived thinking not enough people are waking up, because they are. And it's not all because people are on to Q. You can wake up in very many different ways. But the people out there will shout out that Trump's a Zionist and all this bull crap that goes on with it all, because they're not researching properly. They don't even know that name was made up from the Khazarian mafia anyway, who pretend they're Jews and they're not. All to put division out there and to call other people, you're looking at the wrong people. Yeah, we're saving the world together worldwide. It's a worldwide thing. That's why we're all in lockdown. There's many things going on underneath that. Even if they put it on, there's things going underneath that, saving the children, putting other systems in place, because they're not going to just get rid of all the systems like banking, this, that and the other, school systems. They're going to be what they were meant to be originally for us. But the dark got in, whatever you want to call them. Many names. No faces. It's just putting good people back in them systems that eventually might turn into a different holistic system, which I do believe they will, even like schools, because it's people's choice to either homeschool or not. But in the end, I just think, when they knew about this plan, they would have been looking at school systems, banking systems, all sorts of systems to be put in place when this falls. So it gradually, everything's changing anyway. So that stuff is going to change. I talk to teachers. I was a nurse. I know the teachers out there that are awake to a little bit of stuff have even said they think it's going to change, and they just want to do for the kids. They don't even want all the shit put on them, because a lot of teachers are stressed out with too many kids in the class. The workloads are ridiculous. It's more written stuff and all that. It needs to go back holistic, and I believe that is going to happen, because the true teachers, because it's not the teachers, it's the ones at the top that put all these stuff, the curriculum into place. It will change, or you'll have the choice to be whatever. it will change because they want to do that. They want it more like that. They don't want to be stressed working with kids. They're going to have to learn new things again and re-educated on stuff because teachers have been all programmed, you know, to be teaching kids. I'm not saying it's all bad, but teaching kids, we need to be teaching them proper stuff. So how to live and stuff. I think that will all change. It's not just one system. It's not just the banking system, all everyone goes Gazara and Nazara, whatever you call it, of just money, and people are like, oh yeah, it's brilliant, this about free energy. Yeah, it is, but all things are going to change. It's not about let's all get greedy and think about the money, because everyone's, I see people shouting out like, when's the money coming? It's not about that. It'll come in when it comes in, how it comes in, and it'll go to the people who it's needed to first, and then it'll come in. And then we'll be finding new ways to deal with things and to be with each other and have trade and communication with each other and how we'll do things. Yeah, schools do brainwash kids, but I believe it'll go more holistic. There's teachers that want to do that out, you know, they want to be like that, but they can't under the system at the minute, but that's being all brought down anyway. Yeah, there's ours is coming back. Yeah, definitely ours is coming back. Oh yeah, with the true history. And wait till that happens. And this is why I'm saying, I've always said, get your mindset ready and open, to be open to anything, because what's coming, you're going to need to heal after it. And then they go on about Project Bluebeam and all that crap, because my belief, not bothered what anyone else thinks, is we walk among spirit, ETs, whatever you want to call it, in different dimensions. They've always said they were going to do Project Bluebeam. It's part of the New World Order. Of course they're going to want to do that as the big thing, because they want to frighten people. They want to make it look like that. They've always put that out there. But what if that's the thing to say, it's Project Bluebeam, because they know disclosure's coming and there would be a time. So when it does, they're going to make out it is. We know they've got holograms and all that. They're going to make you think that's what it is. Because if you think about it on mainstream, if something happened and we started seeing things more and more, as in disclosure on that level, we all know on mainstream media, they're going to make it out as if it's not real. And they will say, oh, it's, yeah, you know, whatever. The bullshit that they put in either way, whatever way around they do it, or they're going to do it where it's going to look scary when it's holograms or whatever. We all know they've got it. If anyone's seen the video on YouTube, please YouTube it. If anyone can find it in Chat Tapper or anyone, where there's a whale in, there's loads of kids sat in like a basketball, gym in America, I think it was, and they put this hologram on the floor. It's like this whale just comes out the floor. It looks absolutely real. Even the kids were like, wow, we all know that. That's probably what 9/11 was, because we know that fell in its own footprint. So, you know, our intuition will, intuition's getting stronger. The thing is, when you wake up to truth and start seeing the bullshit, your intuition does become stronger. And that's what you've got to follow. I don't even know what I'm talking about tonight, but basically, this week I had a friend contact me from, it could have been more than 5 years ago, from an ex that I was with. And it was a girl anyway. And she said, oh, I've been meaning to like try and catch up with you and speak to you because, you know, I find you inspirational. She could be watching now. Didn't know she watched me. Inspirational, and thank you, Revel, and you know, arty wise and spiritual wise, and trying to put stuff out, and then like and I've just got onto the Qanon thing, so I'm looking at that, but it has given me a bit of anxiety in this, that and the other. And she came around the other day and I was trying to explain to her, you will go through all the emotions till you realise what's going on. It becomes easier and easier, and then you realise what you've got to do within yourself as well. But I'll probably be talking about that on Charlie's channel on Wednesday evening, because that's what I'm going to bring out, because it's my awakening that I'm going to be talking about, my experiences. And then another friend got in contact, and she was like, on Instagram, and she was like, you know what you've been talking about, because she said she's been watching me when she does sometimes, but especially when I've been talking about the temperature guns being fired at the kids' head and mine and all that. And she said, you know, I've talked about this with me and my husband over the few years. You know, we've talked about stuff that we've been seeing in the world, and you're spot on, and we agree with you, and we're glad that you're talking out. You're so inspirational. That makes me like, oh my God, like, someone I've not seen for years and years has come and said that and said, you know, even I've stopped, like this person said, they stopped drinking, they stopped doing this, they stopped doing that, they're realising what's important. They know that a lot of the celebrities are all just to get followers, not all of them, you know, and how they influence the children and sexualise the children and so on and so forth, and all this stuff we know. And then Amanda, who came in the other day off Amanda's allotment, anyone knows, I did get in contact with him. We had a really good long chat, and it's just all this like beautiful, what could be the biggest word we could put out there? Beautifulness of people uniting, of we know not to be in fear. We're not following that timeline of fear. Even if we're not agreeing on everything, we know, you know, it's not fear. We know Trump's a good guy. We know that people are going to see, even the haters are going to change their minds in the end, because it's not a thing of Republican versus Democrat. It's about what side you stand on. If you can't see it, I'm sorry. You know, I don't really have time for people at the minute who can't see it. And that's not in a nasty way. That's just like, we'll get back to you when this all comes out, because we'll all be healing together. And it won't be like that thing of like Charlie Ward said before, if you took the left road and you're like, oh yeah, I made a bit of a mistake there. Don't be afraid to say I made a mistake. I'm not going to be scared of turning around and saying, if this wasn't real and it wasn't happening, if I could change my tune at the end of the year and go, oh my God, you know what? I even said this to me fella. I said, I will do. But I tell you what, we had a great ride, and I've met so many, I have met people outside, you know, on when we did a meet-up and stuff, and even Red Pill Phil lives down the road from me. But I've come across so many beautiful souls in my chat, beautiful messages that I get, that can't be a bad thing anyway. You know, that we know there's people who have empathy for other people and they want right for humanity. There's a lot of people who've been evil out there and they've wanted greed and well, if you look at the latest about Boris on Twitter, he's been wearing a green, they were going on about the green tide to do with green castle. There's a lot of things, and he might have been blackmailed, but he ain't now. And that's on Twitter, and I might read that out another time, because there's a Twitter post gone out of what he's been actually saying lately, and he's been communicating his ties, like Melania. If you don't know, Melania communicates through addresses. She has certain things. And there was a bookcase behind him, and there was something called Revenge. There was QAnon magazines in this kid's school. Not QAnon, sorry. The magazine Q. They were all lined up in a school of kids. It's like they why would they be reading Q magazines? They were there. There was all these book references in the background of messaging, because if you don't know, when the deep state used to message, how they used to message through different things, bookshelf, like Obama and Big Mike and all that, they'd sit in front of a bookshelf and they'd have certain things in the background that we wouldn't know, but who they communicate does know. I'm communicating right now with Q, triggered by Donald Trump Jr. and obviously the V for Vendetta mask that a lot of us wear for Q. I'm communicating to Q. Just saying. If you didn't know that, actually, let me just go and see if I can find it. Yeah, and Tapper's had a chat with some amazing people today and loved it. And a lot of people are waking up. I know you're all seeing that. Yeah, for real. I've always said, I think he's on the side of good, or he came over to it. You know, it's either do this, or don't do that. But remember, Trump always has to look like he's saying something when he's not, and he means the complete opposite. But he did look a bit like he'd been threatened at some point. But the latest of what we've seen is, let me see if I can find it, Boris Johnson. But if you know about the whole bookshelf thing and communicating, how they communicate, you'll definitely understand what I'm waffling on about. Now I've got to find the bloody thing. See if I can find it. So think about it. It may look like he's doing things sometimes, but sometimes he's actually not. Right. So we've got the Trump song. Have you seen this one? MAGA. He says MAGA because it was a guy singing, this is how you turn a Black Lives Matter violent riot into a peaceful protest. You turn it into a MAGA dance party. So some guy jumped off a Trump van with all Trump over it, started singing at a Black Lives Matter violent riot, singing, "You've gotta do MAGA." MAGA. It was hilarious. Don't know if you've seen that. I thought it was well funny. Yeah, gays for Trump. See, they know. They know. I'm trying to find this. Right, see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here it is. So, a lot of you who are not onto Q will not get this. But if you know about Red Castle, Green Castle, I'm not going in the explanation. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. So yesterday, news sources were saying that the rogue librarian sets up, because the kids had this library in the background, Boris during this speech by placing trolling books in the line of view, because that's what they do. I think it was staged comms by Boris and the team. Here's why. Now, I'll tell you what it is so you can go and have a look at yourself, because I'm not reading all this out. So Boris was doing a speech. I'll have to look at it. I haven't looked at it. Like I said, I don't look at a lot now because I'm just watching it all fall into place. Right, first of all, the address was held at Castle Rock School in Lancashire. Anon's new castle has been a term used by Q more than once, and it has, I know that. But they were talking about the bookshelves, and it was what was in the bookshelves. Certain things like this here, Q magazines, as in the magazine Q, they wouldn't have that in a kid's school library, right? Just in the background so people can see. There was all references in the back of it. It's not going, oh, it's just, most people who are asleep or don't know about Q in the comms and how they put there would go, oh, it's a coincidence. No such thing as a coincidence. There's even what's the face commented on this Twitter was Katie Hopkins. I didn't used to like her a few years ago. Katie Hopkins is good. She knows what she's talking about. People don't like what she's talking about because she talks about the truth, but she has said some daft things in the past, but aren't we all? But if you want to know, if you want to go and read this, because I ain't going through, it's a long thread and you have to go through the thread and look what saying it's Q on holiday, and it looks like this. So I don't know if anyone can put it in the chat, but Q on holiday, and you want to go and look at that. Like I said, if you don't really know about Q comms, or you've looked at Q, or you haven't gone in depth in Q and knew about Red Castle, Blue Castle and all that, that's been out in the news with all sorts of different things. When you watch people, even in the news, that's how they'll communicate in the background when them lot don't know. It's hilarious. So please go and check that out. Yeah, Katie's great. Happy days. Yeah, my dad sent me that, but this is what I mean. There's lots of stuff going on that looks like people are not part of the alliance when they actually are, even if they flipped or whatever, because I always believe Boris was quite friendly with Trump. When he first came in, he went over there. It's a bit like Nigel Farage went over there to see him. He may have got blackmailed because at some point it did look like he was a bit ill, but he seems to be okay again. He's even been talking about banning or getting a TV license on a subscription because we all know what it's like, and not giving money to other countries before the UK with, when people come over here and they just get a load of money. We know about that, and Nigel Farage's going on about and all that, so they talk about all that. But like I said, I don't watch the news properly because I'm just sat observing stuff, and I'm just loving the whole thing of the world actually waking up. Even if it seems chaotic, it has to happen. It has to happen. It's the only way the world is going to wake up. The only way the world is going to wake up is through shaking it. And it's not nice. It's like a dog with fleas on and it's going mad. Well, that's the only way you're going to wake up, because it wouldn't matter what Trump said on stage if he held up a picture of whoever and said, no one's going to believe him, because all the Trump haters out there who watch the mainstream are not going to believe him. So that's why he does things the way he does things. We all know how he's communicating, but the mainstream media will be brought down and they will see the truth. But at the minute, he's just letting them give them the rope to hang themselves. And Tapper has put Qanon on holiday Twitter link in the live chat. So if anyone's listening after, it's in the live chat. Look in the live chat. And people have got to understand, it's done in a way as well. It's your free will. It's not up to Trump to, we're going to find it out. Anyway, as soon as he gets into November, which he will, that's when the big things drop. and there's more things he can do. But, you know, in the meantime, it is confusing to some people. Someone said today, God, it's really like, I said, it doesn't confuse me. It doesn't upset me. It's like, yeah, you can get triggered by a few things, but just watching what's going on at the minute amazes me. He tells the truth, then they fight him, but he ends up being correct. Exactly. It always ends up being correct. And people go on who don't read, oh, he's done this, oh, he's done that. And they show you a picture like Epstein with Trump next to him. It's like, yeah, he was in the background, or he was at a party. He actually got him done years ago. There's so many things that look wrong, like someone was saying today in a picture where I've said before, you can be at a party with someone in the background, someone comes up to you because they know somebody there, so they're behind you and they just have a picture, and it's like, yeah, I'll be civil to him. I don't need to be an arsehole. I'll be civil to him while I'm here because I don't want to wreck whose party it is, but I'm not going back to the after party. I'm not going back to the house because I don't like him. Pictures we all know it can make it look like something else when it's not. But no one looks at Joe Biden, did they? The videos, not a picture, the videos out there actually caught on camera live at the time when he was mauling all the kids. And the kids' faces were like, get off me. Everyone saw that. I don't know, don't talk about that, do they? Don't talk about that, do they? No. Ain't no party like a gay mega party, 'cause my gay mega party don't stop. Exactly, Revel. That person was great singing that song. It was fantastic. I think the Alliance is being much more... The Alliance have been very active, I think. It's just because the more now, it's because the mainstream media don't report. It's when people say, oh, nothing's happening. Well, you think there's nothing happening because you're not looking in the right places, and you're constantly watching mainstream, and people don't realise that mainstream, when we talk about mainstream media and the lies, we're talking about Netflix, the film industry, documentaries. Some documentaries out there people love are full of bullshit. They might have a snippet of truth in, but they're normally twisted or full of bullshit. Like I said, you'll get more truth in a fantasy film than you'll get in anything else. So, yeah, so I don't really know what I was waffling on about. But, oh, yeah, because I said gratitude. So I've got a lot of gratitude and a lot of thanks for you lot in chat, people who communicate on other platforms with me, and people that I've known for years from school and stuff that speak to me now behind the scenes and are like, do you know what? We've been watching you. You know, they just come out and said, we've been watching you, blah, blah, blah. You're doing, like, keep it up. And I'm like, don't exactly know what I'm doing properly, but I'm just talking about my experiences, what I see, what I feel, the emotions I went through. And that's why I got in contact with Lee off the Charlie Ward show, because I want to go on and just put my, and Tapper's put true reporting in, put my story across of my awakening. So, no, but I'll have a look at, yeah, true reporting. I'm grateful to have found Dolly and friends from all over. Yeah, Maggie, and exactly. And it's like there's a community here in the chat, you know, and you all love talking to each other. And the biggest thing, the message that, like I was going to say the other day, that I'm trying to put out there is, whatever I'm talking about, whatever you believe, whatever your experience is, you're not alone. We're all doing this together, and we're all been in these emotions and this like, oh, I didn't think there was anyone else talking about it. Well, we're all doing it together. Thank God for the internet in a sense. We're using it against us, but we're using it against them now. This is the biggest message. You're not in it alone. And the reason why I want to speak about my awakening, and it's my experience, is no one can say it is my experience. I just want to share that as a mother who went through it. So if anyone's waking up to the shit now and they feel alone, or whatever, hopefully they can look at me talking about what I went through with my emotions when I first found Q, and what I went through with the heartbreak and everything. I'll probably get upset tomorrow, I don't know, because I've tried to detach myself from it. Is that they'll see that that's the emotions they're going through, but they'll get through it because I did, and I'm happy with what's going on. I think it's amazing what's going on. I think the plan that's in place, divine plan, the genius that's going on with certain stuff is absolutely amazing. It's the greatest time ever to be alive right now, in history in the making. And also, like, yes, there's shit happening. There's more shit coming. There's more shit coming. There's more chaos coming. There will be deaths and stuff like that. Yes, it's not nice, but I'm talking truth. Some people won't be able to handle it. This is a war we're in. It's a spiritual war. It's a war we're in, but it's not a war we've had in the past. It's not them sort of wars with guns. In fact, I mean, I know they set wars off still in other countries, but that hasn't been happening with Trump. It's not one of them wars where we're all being sent off or the men are being sent off. It's different. It's an information war, what they've hidden, the information. It's a war on your minds, and it's a war on spirituality, and it's a war on God. So it's totally different. They're taking people out. People are taking their lives because of this shit, because they don't understand, and the way that they've been, people are losing their jobs, so people are getting depressed and people are committing suicide and all this. And if only people knew the truth, of that's why I don't think they'd be doing these things, and that's why it's so important to talk out. So the people who sit there and go, I'm not looking at the data, I say it's important to talk out, and it's important to have channels, even if you're not resonating with everything that we're saying, I'm saying, Charlie Ward's saying. Because yeah, at first I did think, where the hell has Charlie Ward come from? How'd you pop out of nowhere and get that many subscribers? You know, when the likes of some of us have been talking out quite a bit. But then I thought, well, it's not about that, is it? He does a lot of interviews with a lot of people, so he's going to get more people on. Obviously, when you unite like that, you do, with more mouths speaking out. And then I thought, you know what? It's not that I believe in everything he says, like some stuff I think I might know a bit more stuff on, but it's not about that. It's about getting the truth out, getting them people in there, getting many different perceptions and stuff on his channel, which he is doing. And I don't see that now. I just think, no, it's good what he's doing. And some of the people on the channel, I'm like, oh yeah, they're all right, talking about whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, dark to light. All those in the dark will be seen, so we'll know who's playing for what team. But I don't actually think that now. Then there was a big discussion about Q got, I can't remember, someone was saying, oh, because there was this big thing with the white rabbit thing, and he had the white rabbit in the background, that must mean that he's from the dark side. It's like, the white, follow the rabbit was always a Q thing anyway. I've got a flipping white rabbit in the corner over there. Because you see, it's Alice in Wonderland, but the white rabbit was when you go down the rabbit's holes. I've always said, when you go down the rabbit holes, when you go down the holes, when you go down the rabbit holes, make sure you come back up, don't stay there. So to me, someone putting that out, I think stupid. But then again, we get confused, and when people first come into Q and they learn things about symbology and symbols, they think that like red shoes, if you wear red shoes, you're in the red shoe satanical club. No, you're not. You're just wearing red shoes. Their shoes are made out of other stuff that some people don't know about. And then, they'll go, well, you've got like, you're doing this. You had chucking mudras out, or they get confused. But you've got to remember, a lot of us know, a lot of the symbols were our symbols. The pyramid's not a bad thing. The pyramid symbol with the one eye, focus. They stole it, the Illuminati, but they always cut it off because they're cutting source off. They're cutting source off. They weren't bad symbols, but they revert everything. We all know that. They've stolen. Just like people go mad when they see the swastika. Well, the swastika was it a monk, or it was a Buddhist like symbol for peace. But when people first come into it, they see a lot of things and they start thinking, oh, that person's bad because they've got, I don't know, whatever's on my bookshelf there, or, oh, I've got a pentagram on. Well, I've got a pentacle on, but, and some people, especially if you're highly religious, you'll go, oh my God, it's not that way. The devil, the Democrats have a star and it's got a blue bit in it, and it's this way because they're the horns. That's the devil. It's not that way. It's that way because this is actually geometric shape that is up there in the universe, and this represents a goddess. This represents the 5 points is earth, air, fire and water, and the circle is spirit. So, I mean, what's so evil about that? I believe in elementals. I believe in energy. I believe in reincarnation. So people have got to learn about certain symbols. It's that way they have it. Just like when they wear the cross, like Chelsea Clinton did, and she wore the cross upside down because they're mocking God. The cross is a body and the centre point is the heart. If you think about it, it's us. Centre point where spirituality and like the physical and spirituality meet together, because we are of both realms. That's what people don't understand. The heaven is not a place, it's a consciousness. Christ consciousness. It's a consciousness. The new earth is, we're not going somewhere, we're making this earth great again. This earth great again. with a higher consciousness, because when everyone comes to a higher state of consciousness, which is working on yourself, being love to everyone else, no one's going to be wanting to killing people, fighting people, stealing off people, because we'll all be equal, like with Nagazara, with the free energy that's coming in, and there'll be no need for that. So we'll be living in a new earth because we'll have gone to a higher state of consciousness. The others that are going to find it quite hard, that are still in the coma, that are still gripping onto something, like people talk about the split, they're just going to be left. It's going to be like, well, you either come to it or you don't. You're going to in the end, because that's where the majority of us are going. Thank you, Ron. The evil one stole all the symbols and flipped them. Yes, he did. Dolls dropping hot signs. It's just, when you come across a lot of stuff, you've got to discern a lot with people's channels, stuff that's coming on, things that you resonate with. And I've got a lot of stuff because I resonate with a lot of stuff and it just feels right. And that's how it is. And then when you realise what things are properly, and not to be scared of certain symbols because someone said it was from the devil, it's like, oh, for God's sake, that's how they've got us all. So I just speak how I feel about what I resonate with in the experiences I'm having. Also, like the orbs that are coming in. People will go, they're from the devil. It's that realm. It's that dimension. It's white light. Some people say, oh yeah, but you know, Lucifer, and it's the fake light. Well, mine isn't the fake light because it feels loving. It isn't evil. It's like God's breath. I said to someone today, and what do you think it is? And someone said on Instagram, it is the dimensions saying that they're still there, the beings, ETs saying that they're here. And they communicate, and they do communicate, do you know what I mean? Other people will laugh, but I'm like, but I'm having this experience and feeling into it and trying to work it out myself. I don't know everything, but I know when I resonate with certain stuff, it's pretty easy to see, and you come across the right channels for a reason. And I started whittling out who I watch now, and I only watch a smaller majority than I used to. And also because I'm not getting notifications till I remember and I go, oh my God, I haven't seen that channel for ages. But like I said, when I came across certain people years ago that are all into Q and Trump now, that's why I came across them. Because I didn't know what they were talking about at first. So I'm going to go now because I don't even know what I was waffling on about. But one of the messages was, you're not alone. We're doing it together. You can see what's going on when you're in the right places and the right channels and stuff, what's going on. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is the golden age coming. If you're on the New World Order timeline and you're moaning and you're in fear, you need to get out of it, because if we were all on that timeline would come in because we're all fearing. That's why they want you fearing. That's why they want you. That's why when you're watching telly, most of it is fear. We're not. We're on the timeline of the golden age and we are bringing it in. And it's already done. We're watching a movie. But it is to say, you're all brilliant in chat. I have a lot of gratitude for you all in chat and the support that I get. And people who give coffee donations. I think it was Danny the other day, thank you. You know, if you feel like you're making an energy coffee donation, you can. I think if Tapper's in, he'll put my PayPal in chat. It's up to you, free will. But thank you very much for all the people who have done before. And what else was I going to say? Well, yeah, I think near Christmas is going to be brilliant. But yeah, like I said, it's just a gratitude. Thank you for people on here that support, and people that have been supporting me, friends who've messaged me recently. Thank you, because you could be watching. Thank you very much. It means a lot because you lot give me energy as well to go on. What worries me are the false religions. Yeah, but at the end of the day, false religions are going to fall, because when we move into the new higher state of consciousness, all that will fall away naturally anyway. People can still have the religions, but it's going to fall away naturally because people are going to see the truth when the truth comes out. It's all going to go slowly. All this stuff is drippy, drippy, slowly, slowly. It can't be chucked in your face because people will just be like, it's hard enough as it is anyway, even at the pace it's at. So imagine if it was just all chucked in your face. You can't be religious, you can't do this. It's like, it will just naturally fall off. People are allowed to have them, but it will naturally just fall off. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, thanks, I enjoyed this. I am allowed back. Yeah. So, well, I just hope I'm giving a frequency out, because I mean, I know what's going on in the world, this, that and the other, and you know, I'm not choosing to look at all the crap that's going on, but I still do keep a high frequency. And even when I'm getting people around me that don't, I mean, in real life, that don't see it, or they're getting angry about something because they're triggered in something, I still won't let that pull that down, because I know in the end, like I said before, don't worry about your families and stuff like that. They are going to wake up in the end and they're going to see, and we're just going to be glad that they're waking up. It is that really, we don't really want to say I told you so, but we are going to be glad that even people who've probably been at you like, oh, you stupid, oh, you this, that, we're going to just be like, in the end, I'm so glad you woke up. I'm so glad. Hi, Martin Liga. I'm so glad you've woke up. I'm just so glad you're awake. I'm just so glad we're coming now because we need to heal. We need to heal. Oh, by the way, before I go, I'm going now. Yeah, where we go, one week all. I'll just show you a bit of my art. I was, well, getting this scribbling I was doing. So, my last ones were, I don't know where I got up to. Yeah, Mary, the lockdown was also apparently to get us working less and at a slower pace, and so you can research because people are. The reason why people are waking up a lot more now is because they've had the time to. I know it's not good, some people lost their jobs, but when they were at home, they've had the time to research. I found out a lot of stuff because I wasn't working at the time, So I had a lot of time on my hands to research, and that's what people were doing. And there's lots of multi-layered things with it all as well. Yeah, they can't release all of the information all at once. It would be too shocking. It would. I mean, it's shocking enough of us that I found out stuff. It is shocking. So, yeah, exactly. That's why it's being dripped out. But it's not going to be one of them, oh, it's dripping out for another 50 years. It is here. And JP's in chat as well. Yeah, Coolio, see you later. Yeah, so I'm just going to show a bit of me out. So, the other, I think the last one I was doing was this one. You know, I just intuitively draw stuff. This says intentions. This one went a bit mad, and I haven't finished off. It's meant to be a man and a woman, meaning the left and the right brain, meaning coming in balance, them energies. You have the analytical left, as I'd say, a bit manly, and the mystic sort of women, and that's coming together because that's the physical and the spiritual world coming together. The hemispheres of the brain, they like to say. The heaven is up here. You know, like I said, heaven isn't a place we're going to. It's a place we are now in when we go into the high state of consciousness. Then I did galactic dimensions because people go on about galactic. If you're not into space, we're talking about dimensions. We're talking about dimensions this way, that way. We're not necessarily saying it's up there with all the flat earthers out there. We're not saying that. So we've got that. So, yeah, I see Martin over on Instagram. See, some people go, oh my God, she's got like eyes and it's evil. No, when you see eyes in my drawings, it stands for consciousness. And these is like orbs, energy, whatever you want to say, pumping out energy. Just want to get drawing every day. And I think in October on Instagram, I'm going to be doing Inktober, which is a lot of artists do a drawing every day. Thank you, Martin. I know you see him on over there. A picture every day in ink, you know, like ink, black ink. But I mean, I do that nearly every day anyway, so it's not going to be that hard for me. But if you want to go and check out my Instagram, it's Janine Flannery, Dolly Daydream over there, and you can see my pictures on there and stuff. I'm going to be doing that. I've got to start bringing more of my art little things over here. I'm always doing so much though. This one the other day was, I heard someone saying about mushrooms being able to eat plastic, and I don't know who the hell was talking about it, but it was interesting because we will be getting rid of stuff we don't need in the end. And we all know hemp's coming back because Trump brought that in age ago. Hemp can be used for so much. Clothing, whatever, building, clothing, paper, toilet paper, everything, and it grows really quickly and it's really cheap. That's why they didn't want it in. So yeah, I've got this I don't know who was saying this the other day, but I thought, yeah, if you want to put a mantra out there, I am light, I am love, I am truth, I am. So I just have to write that down to remember. But I've got this thing going on, and then I'm just about to do a new one there, but it's not in. And then I can't see live chat. Yeah, putting all the. I've still got my paintings, but I've not got far on that yet. I've got my cue picture coming. Remember, this one was a quick scribble I put together. It's not finished yet. Of the serpents, as you say, of our chakras, of the energies rising. If they're staying dormant, they're down there. But as they begin to go up together in balance, the energies rising. you know, to your crown chakra. This is heaven. And we communicate here. That's why they're trying to fire within. That's why they're trying to fire a temperature gun at your kids, as if I'm having that thing at school at the minute. Heart is where we feel. It's not the brain. The brain just processes. It's everything comes from the heart. When you feel, it comes from here. This is where we know. Knowing comes from here. It doesn't come from here. That's a processor. It comes from here. But yeah, I've not finished that yet. And then I've put heaven is a higher state of consciousness. That's what it is. But people don't understand that. It's fine. And then in my big book, thank you. I know I'm trying to get a colouring book together and all sorts, but because I do so many things at so many times, it takes ages. And I will be getting some crystal jewellery out soon because I've just learned how to do something, or I will be doing soon. It's just, I just can't, you know, find it hard to stay focused, but it's a thing I've got to learn. Hemp, best book ever. Yeah. So if anyone remembers this book, where I do a bit of big doodling of stuff and collaging, which I think is very good to calm people, as I've said before. Where is it? This, you know, my pictures. Love yourself and be kind to yourself. My pictures going on. And the latest one I've done is, there's one, some are not finished. This one's not finished yet because I don't actually know what was going on with that one. But that's okay. This one's not finished. But the one I started the other day is this. Whatever it's representing. The Divine Feminine, obviously. Always is at the minute. And then we've got the eyes for consciousness. And I cut this out of magazines, and it's a... It's a magnifying glass and a little boy with jigsaw pieces, because I see that as cue, you know, we're putting the jigsaw pieces together for the bigger picture, or the breadcrumbs, or joining the dots up, little question marks. We've got a woman, it was like in church, but she's putting her intentions out. That's what we're putting out, that energy of peace, love, joy, compassion, health, wealth for all, you know, abundance for all. And these birds are flying off because they're sending those messages out to the higher realms of consciousness, and all the love's coming in, and that's what's going on. And then the light bulbs are coming in because people are waking up. And then I've put underneath, I wrote on it, questioning everything, you know, like you, questioning everything and putting the jigsaw pieces together. And it's a hero's journey I've put, because this boy's walking on this path. Hero's journey back to you, because that's where we're all going. That's where we're all going. Back to love. Cool, you should design an album covers and mags. You would kill it, darling. I know. If anyone knows any spiritual magazine people out there that need some artwork, you know what? Yeah, I know. I'd love to do something like that. Yeah. Do I don't know. But yeah, and it's funny because what I was trying to say before I go about friends getting in contact, they're like, we want you to do crafting evenings, which we did do once, me and my fella, but my friend was like, I want to come round and get back into spirituality things, like talk about it and then do some crafting. So I'm going to do that in the next week or something with this lady, and there's someone else who wants to do it. And I want to do the intuitive drawing, like I said, with these collage books and everything, because sometimes you look back on stuff, you're like, oh my God, the things you were drawing, it gets your emotions out. It's so therapeutic, like I've said before. I know I keep saying I need to do the, get on my computer and show you how I do it. I will bring some. Smash it, Justin. Thank you, Martin. Well, you know, Martin, I met Martin at a convention, and the lovely Mark Devlin was there as well, who's now into Q, who wasn't into Q at the time, you know, and Roxanne, and she was into Q, and I was into Q, and you don't have to be into Q to know the truth, but what I'm saying is, you know, there's lots of things going on, and I've met so many beautiful people through the process of being on YouTube, talking out, coming through different truths. I've not stayed in that community as such, what Martin's in. I know of it. I believe we're on a realm. It's up to anyone what they think they're in. But, you know, I moved forward with the other bits of truth, because we all know it's bringing us back to us, our higher selves, other things that going on. But a lot of people will say in that community, how can you believe in ETs? It's like, because I believe they're coming in from different dimensions, extraterrestrials, extra-terrain dimensions. That's how I see it. So you can look at it like that. Mine's a different perception of stuff. But like I said, I am having experience with certain things, and that's all I can say. But I've met very cool people like Tapper77. I've met Tapper. Rachel Pixie, who comes in here. Martin. I've met Mark Devlin was at the thing. I've met people. Who was there, Mark? We had Mark Devlin. You were there. I've met Mark from America. My God, what's his name? It's gone out of my head. Mark Sargent. I've met Dave. Allegedly Dave. Obviously Roxanne. Sleeping Warrior. Yeah, loads of people. So, you know, and then I met a few of you at the Really Woke meetup we did in my area, which was great, which maybe we'll do one time in the future, but I just think we'll be having a world party when all this is out. So it's amazing, and I'm grateful for meeting cool people. So, you know, and even if those people are not into Q, they're still on the movement of truth and knowing, you know, a lot of this adds up anyway and links up to it all anyway. Because actually Q has talked about flat earth. If you didn't know, he has said that, if you look deep into it. But I'm just saying, we're all on the rise for humanity, you know what I mean? So uniting, you know what I mean? So, and a lot of people who aren't into Q and don't realise POTUS, the Trump, is in the Q team, they still support Trump. They might not know that, because I knew a lot of people who used to take the mick out of me and were like, oh my God, what's Q? What are you talking about? But they love Trump, but they didn't know Trump was part, because they didn't follow it, so they didn't know, and they don't know the coding, and they don't see what goes on. But all I'm saying is we are winning. This is the time of all time, and it's going to be great. And it is history in its making, and we're part of it, and it's bonkers. So, but it's great at the same time. It's great. Yeah, crystals are great. So what I'm going to do before I go is power to the people, exactly. Yeah, smirk face. It's like, what did Trump say way back? Promises made, promises kept. So I'm just going to let a card jump out and see what it says before I go. Have I seen I don't know. I'll probably go and check it out. There's just so much, you know what I mean? It's just like, bah. And a lot of people, there's new channels coming out all the time, and you know, where they're into Q now and they're showing stuff, obviously, I've seen and I know of, and it's just, I just think, well, brilliant. People are waking up. People are waking up. But remember, Austin Stobart, or whatever his name is, Steinbart, is not Q. For anyone who's come into Q newly, that is not Q. It's not how it works. Chill. Got arrested again anyway. So I just want to put that out there, because it's been on some channels. People talk about, even David Rodriguez, who's been on Law Rise, and how we was following that person thinking it is, but he wasn't that into Q, didn't know properly about the stuff with Q. Be careful who you follow. Not saying David's bad, he just he didn't know. You know, when you get into new people, it's like, yeah, trust the plan, exactly. Landslide. Oh yes. Yeah, we are the 99%, they are the 1%, remember that. And I'll just give a shout out to Stand Up UK, who are doing a great job at the minute around the UK with the protesting. Roxanne's been showing that, but I will give that a shout out. I'm sure someone said that. Oh no. I don't know if they're on Charlie Ward, I don't know. But like I said, fingers crossed, I'll be on the Charlie Ward show on Wednesday, and I've just kept shouting it out to people who, you know, from here who want to see it, just talking about my awakening. So it might be not new to some people, but that's what I'm going to be talking about, because yeah, Stand Up X, yeah. Sorry, Stand Up X, yeah. Stand Up X UK, is it? You know, because I think people who are just waking up need to see the good side of waking up when you go through all the emotions. So, but they will fight the landslide, drag it out. I don't think they will. They're not going to. I think once that the election that hits, that's it. Boom. Boom. That's why they're pushing all the shit now, and they'll try and do a second wave. And this, that, and the other. And they've even said that the military are not on Trump's side. Absolutely load of bullshit. Like I said, bring it on. Second wave of awakening. You know? Yeah. And there's lots of videos being put out there, arrests and different things. It's a bit like, yeah, you've even got to discern some of that, because some people are just acting and doing stuff to put people in fear. But like I said, we've got to go through the shit. Still going to be chaos, but hold on tightly, you know. I think there's a load of shit coming in the next couple of weeks. Charlie Ward was saying with certain stuff, like, you know, careful where you're going in that. It's just, you know, I'm observing. Don't want to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, Antifa attacking the mayors that support them starting to eat their own. They will do. And like I said, Trump's giving him the rope to hang himself with before it all comes out, because you're going to see what's going on. Like I've said before, places like Australia and that, I know it's not nice in certain areas where it's really, really rampant, and because a lot of people over there have not been awake, but it's like someone said the other day, these places have to be seen. They have to be seen, and the people in the areas have to see what they voted in, certain mayors and that, and they have to see the shit so they know they're not going to vote for it next time, and they have to see it. You have to see it. You know, they're just giving a bit of a taster to people. I know it's not nice because people are getting harmed, people dying, but like I said, we are in a war. We are in a war. What time? It's supposed to be 9 p.m. UK time here, I think, which will be 10 o'clock for Charlie. But yeah, I think it's 9 o'clock. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Should be fun. Will be fun. He's had some great people on. Really good women talking out lately as well. Really, really good. And like I said, he did have someone talking about the pyramids and the pyramid code, and some people in chat like, oh, it's all rubbish this. It's because people don't understand. I do believe in, you know, reincarnation and stuff, and it's just sometimes, you know, we're not told about certain stuff. So people, when they're spouting off, should just be a little bit open-minded to certain stuff. So 3 cards have just fell out. Ah, love it. So we've got the Dream Walker, dreams, the collective good, illusions, and it's a number 8. Just talked about dreams before. Illusions, a bit like the Pied Piper there, you know, illusions, all these illusions that are going on. The MSM throw mega illusions at people. But dreams, the collective good. Collective good is winning, we're the collective. The Ringmaster of Scrutiny, number 9. Discernment, clear vision and details. Well, number 9, divine, that's what is needed. Ooh, it's a magical wizard. There's white magic and dark magic out there. Wear the white hats, remember. Don't know if you can see that. There is discernment needed and clear vision. 2020 stands for 2020 vision. You know, there's a magnifying glass there, you know. Like on my picture before, magnifying glass. You've got to be little detectives. This is why I said you've got to do the research. You've got to do the research. Yeah, vote in person as well. And then the last one was the Eagle King, which makes me laugh because I was saying about the Hopi prophecies before, and the condor flies with the eagle, is it? The big picture, angelic help, number 12, which is 3 as well, Trinity. The bigger picture. In my picture before, I was saying about the bigger picture, putting the jigsaw pieces together. The bigger picture, angelic help. Yes, because we have spirit realm helping us as well, around you all the time. Whether that you think it's spirit, angelics, ETs, whatever, them energies in them dimensions are here. So that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. I'm 73 and remember the event of his death. So like I said, thank you all for coming in. Much appreciated that you're supporting and everything, even if you resonate with some or not of all of it. But like I said, the message I always put out is you're not alone. You're not alone. Keep high vibrating. Do the things you love. Try not to look at so much stuff that's bringing you down, because we are nearly to November. It's going to get batshit crazy more stuff going on with certain stuff we're all seeing, and people getting mad about this, that and the other. That's what's going to happen. But we have to go through this. We have to go through it to see it, to believe it, to feel it, to know it. And Tapper's just put in my PayPal in case anyone wants to make a coffee donation. And like I said, thank you to anyone who ever has. All it is an energy exchange, up to you, because you got free will. Yeah, and I didn't even know Trump's got a daughter called Tiffany. Well, I did, but it wasn't recent. It was recently. So yeah, we got this. We've got it. Vibe up. Find people on YouTube who are high vibing, who talk about the truth like Lady V did. They talk about the truth, but they do it in a high vibing way. It's not in a, you know, miserable sort of fearing mode. It's just like they do have a message at the end of it. It's like, we're doing this. The only way we bring a new world in and a higher state of consciousness is if we work together and we speak out. The only way you release things if you speak out. The only way we can go to a new world and not have these things happening is if we speak out. That's why they're trying to censor everything. They don't want people speaking. The mask stands for silence. The gun stands for silence as well, that temperature gun. The silence of your children. Ugh. See symbology in it, but the only way is if we talk about it. That's how we get through it, to bring in new solutions, and that is what's happening. So, oh yeah, there may be others that we thought had passed, but they didn't. Time may tell. Yeah, like I said, we'll all see. Because if that happens, which I do believe there is that, people will go, oh my God, what was happening there? And why did you do this? And then the whole story is going to come out. So I just say it's amazing time. It's bonkers. We don't truly know the greatest things that are going to happen. We know it's going to be great. They said the last one will be magical. You know, I know it's hard and it's frustrating because we're waiting, but we're seeing lots of stuff. And I just know the end of this year, Christmas is going to be an amazing Christmas. I don't know what is coming in that Christmas, but I know it's going to be good. Yeah. Yeah, Bin Laden's niece backs Trump. Yes, she does. I saw that, because if you don't know the true story about Bin Laden, and even like, oh, what's his face? Who's the one where they pulled his statue down? Saddam Hussein. And the shit that went on over there. They're going to be shocked. They're going to be shocked. Trying to help his people. I'm not saying they were brilliant people, but you know what I mean. Can't wait to see people's faces when all this starts to seep through the holes in the... I know. Even when people just will throw out there talk about the light event and this event, that's already happening. Them orbs are... light within us is already soaking in, do you know what I mean? It's already here. A 33 Christ consciousness in the house. Christ consciousness. When we talk about... Well, I'm not talking about religion. If you ever hear me talk about Christ... I'm talking about Christ consciousness, a higher state of consciousness that we're working to. You want to say Jesus, I'll say a guy who knew about his higher self, knew about to be from love is the message. Christ consciousness. Not man-made religion that tells you you're sinning and you're doing this and keeps you away. I'm talking about Christ consciousness. I call it source. I have started saying God lately. You know, someone was saying something about the other day. It's in all religions. It's all the same God, but it's not the man-made. Christ consciousness is within all of us. Anyway, I'm going to go. So an army friend of mine was saying talk on the basis that it will be all over by Xmas. Yeah, like I said, the worst places at the minute where the countries are really seem bad at the minute, it's those countries waking up. It's those countries going through the shit to rise. Like, all the countries are kicking off everywhere. So that's sort of what's going on. Like I said, I know it's not nice, but this is how it has to be done. The people have to be waking. Like I said, it's like fleas on a dog. It's shaking it off. The world's shaking. We're all like fleas on Gaia's back, and she's like, come on, people. Some people are flying off in all directions, all like, oh my God. Some of us are holding on tight. We're like, we're on this. We're on Gaia. We're on the, well, I don't know where this is coming from. We're on this ride. We're here. But we're gripping on. We're rooting our roots in, and we're like, oh, we're holding on. It just reminds me of a quote I've seen today about roots. We're holding on because we know. It'll be okay in the end. It's only a bit of wind, you know what I mean? It's a storm. But I'll show you this before I go, because I did quite like it. And in the plane with the upside down triangle, right, I'm sure I saw something today that I quite like. Yeah, I did. Wanted to show you. When the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind. So we're gripping on with our roots. And the roots are pretty strong. Because we're rooted. We're part of Gaia as well. As I'd like to say, as that saying goes, which I love, we are in the world, but not of the world, but we are fighting back. So where we go, one we go all. Don't even know what I was waffling on about. But like I said, thanks for the support of everybody. And don't think you're not doing anything because if you haven't got a channel, you're not. If you're seeding bits of information, even coming in here talking to people and bringing me, your frequency to me as I'm bringing it to you, that's how it works. It's an energy exchange. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Talking about Junior, darling. Ooh, Junior. Like I said, I've got a Q painting coming. I've not started it yet. Just keep looking at it. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess what day is it? Monday. I'll see you soon. Yeah, please come over to Charlie Ward channel tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Wednesday. It's supposed to be at 9 o'clock, and I'll see you there. But yeah, that's all good. Yeah, when the roots are deep, spiritual growth. Oh, thank you, Tapper. So thanks everyone for coming in. Any newbies for coming in. Anyone who's sat in the, I know there's people that sit and watch and don't say anything, and there's friends out there who watch as well. So thanks for watching. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'm still in exciting mode. Yeah, I'm going to mention my artwork on Charlie, but I am, because it's part of me, part of my thing. That my artwork's come out. Funnily enough, I've done more artwork through all of this, so the artwork is part of my awakening. And I've always been arty, but I mean, it threw me into it more because it's like my way of meditation and like calming, and the peace I get from it as well. It's what's kept me sane. I've not had to turn to other devices to keep myself sane. It's just a natural, organic thing. So, hello, new here. Oh, Arthur's new here. Say hi to Arthur, but I'm going now. So you might have to go right back to the chat, and I'll see you, I don't know, I'll see you at some point in the week. I will see you on Charlie Ward's channel. So I'll see you soon, and thanks for coming in. Bye.